Obviously, Kodak's a very powerful item, but we see there, you know, that with that Barrier Rider, with those Vistic Vestments on the rest of the team, it's just not doing enough damage. Needs to get something maybe like a Hellflower himself, or even a Sheepstick. Sheepstick could be extremely powerful here, shutting down that Warbeast or shutting down that Pharaoh before they're able to do much, even once they initiate in. Something like that would be very useful. Now, Warbeast, I'd like to see something on him, maybe like a Basher, or maybe like a Bulwark. He does have 3k gold saved up, so it'll be interesting to see what he does go for. I imagine, though, a Demonic Breastplate would be extremely powerful here with that push lineup they are going for. Ends up getting a Basher, though, so I was right on the money there. Going to use that Basher to potentially lock someone down and do a lot of damage. While that's happening, though, Fade actually running into some people in that bottom lane. Pharaoh is in Viz, does have the eye, though, so Bubbles will see him. Fade's in a lot of trouble, though, and Torture running in with that shrunken head. Witchslayer stunning that Parasite as well. Bubbles not able to get away, unfortunately. It looks like Witchslayer is separate from Pharaoh now as well. Looks like he's in a lot of trouble. He's actually in the trees. They will see him. And he's going to try and run away here. He's popping that bottle charge. Not going to be enough, though. Glacius nearby. Going to stun onto that Plague Rider. Do that Glacial Downpour as well. The actual stun coming out from Plague Rider's ultimate ends up cancelling it, however. He does go down. Boundeye still on the ground there. If Engineer could pick this up, that could be a bit of a misplay from that Hellboy team. It is. He just needs to get out of here now, though. But he will be seen. They don't have any stuns, though, to finish him off. So 3 for 4 exchange. I would definitely want to see that Hellbourne team start pushing, but they are looking for that Engineer a little bit too long. Warbeast just needs to cut into that bottom lane right now. Do a little bit of pushing before Fade gets back up in a couple of seconds. But it looks like they will just back. So Engineer did have that eye, deciding to leave it in the base. Probably the smarter move, deciding not to actually go out and do any counter warding with it at this stage, because he doesn't want to get picked off. Doesn't want to get picked off and hand it back to the Hellbourne team. Another eye does get purchased by Glacius, though. He leaves it in the well. So I assume Pharaoh can pick it up again as he comes back to life. Abyssal Skull finished on Warbeast, so it's going to be very helpful, especially for someone like Pharaoh and himself, of course, and those minions that are pushing. So going all out on this push strat. They are in a little bit of a gold lead at the moment. They do have one extra tower, though, so that's pretty much it. And actually missed some action in that middle lane. Bubbles going down to that Hellflower combo from that Fade, obviously. So there it is, coming into play. Warbeast will back off here. You've got to be a little bit careful, though. Fade does have that portal key, able to jump in. Although we have seen No Friends with that shrunken head do the right thing. Does get silenced this time, though, and he's not able to get it off. Wrath of Pharaoh coming in, though. The Barrier Idol has gone off, and Warbeast is just carving it up in the background there. Ends up taking down two of them, obviously, Fade and Torturer. Engineer going to try and port out here. Will the Bash will go off. And so Engineer is not able to get out there, and that's what the Hellbourne team needed. They need to take out 3 of them. They've only lost Bubbles, obviously, in an earlier engagement. It's time for them to take Kong, it seems. Deciding not to actually push. And which they're actually bottling up that regen as well. Now it looks like Warbeast will be taking this one. Fade is nowhere nearby. And Portakey is on Parasite, but he's not going to get there in time, I believe. There we go, No Friends on that Warbeast, picking it up. So the Hellborn in a very enviable position right now. Warbeast sitting up there, 485 gold per minute. They definitely have domination over this this map control right now. Obviously, with all those wards. Fade's got to be a little bit careful. He's running into the jungle, potentially trying to pick someone off. He's going to run into the pub train, though. They're not going to see him unless Pharaoh does get close enough. He ends up going onto this bubble zone. Wrath the Pharaoh coming in, Witchslayer coming in as well. Ended up doing a lot of damage and turning it right around on that Fade. So pub train coming into work there. The Hellborn team all grouped up, able to help each other. And now with Fade down, they feel a bit comfortable. They can push this top tower at the very least. Warbeast still has that puzzle box. He's able to pull out those minions as well. Now, may not need to just yet, though, especially with Fade down. Looks like they're just going to keep pushing. Keg's done. Hitting the little minions there, trying to hold this off as long as possible. Another 30 seconds till Fade is up. They're going to lose this tower. And they're going to put a lot of harass on this Rax now as well. Torture is nearby. Parasite does go in. Wrath of the Pharaoh onto Parasite. Engineer does go down after popping that ultimate. Torture will go down as well. The Plague Goo coming out. Bouncing between the minions, Pharaoh, and Warbeast. Not going to do enough damage though by any means. Torture throwing those stuns out, doing what he can, trying to keep that Plague Rider alive. Unfortunately, humiliation. Fade is up now, doing a lot of damage onto that Pharaoh. He still has that eye, still has that barrier idol. So he will be fine here, just holding the team off long enough, it seems, for Warbeast and the rest to finish off that Rax, and it looks like they will now back. Torture is coming up though. They end up taking out that Witchslayer before he's able to get back. Octavia getting credit for the kill. There. So unfortunately they are Rax down. It's definitely not GG's yet by any means. But it does put Free Fives 2012 in a bit of a tough spot. And it'll be interesting to see how they're going to turn this around. Perhaps with some good item picks up, perhaps with a better team fight. Unfortunately, though, that Hellborn team getting super powerful right now. Warbeast sitting on 5,100 gold, and he still has that token of life, so he still hasn't used it up. And potentially going to be picking up something like a Behemoth's Heart. Just going to cement his spot as that bloody tanky hero. Glacier's actually going for a shrunken head himself, so not often we see those supports getting that kind of farm. The Glacier's had obviously a lot of burst money in those last couple of minutes. With the tower, with the Rax going down. Looks like this Hellborn team can just group up in that middle lane, and that's what they just got to do. Going to put a little bit more pressure on. They've got that 12,500 gold lead. Warbeast is hitting like a truck. They've got 2.5 minutes left. Just over 2 minutes left on that token. So I want to use it up here if they can, especially if they can get a Rax. Trade it for a Rax maybe. And while this is happening, Parasite pushing that bottom lane as much as he can. He does have that teleport stone though, so he will be able to teleport back at the slightest sign of trouble. Plague Rider has a barrier idol himself. And the rest of the team is here. They are ready to group up. Legion team getting ready. A couple of mines going to go off into that Warbeast. And there goes the nukes as well. The token will come up. He was not able to get that shrunken head off. Probably a smart move though, because he gets it off now. Kelfield coming out, only hitting Torture unfortunately. Warbeast is able to jump back. Nullstone getting used up on Bubbles by that leech on the Parasite. And nothing's really happening so far. Fade jumping out there onto that Warbeast. Wrath of the Pharaoh though, going to help him out a little bit. Fade is going to go down here. Parasite going to jump in, just get melted himself. So that Hellborn team just doing way too much damage. And those mines not doing nearly enough, as obviously Pharaoh does have that barrier idol. A lot of protection. They are going to take out the tower here. And Bubbles actually going to shell surf in and start manning up. He is able to take cover the stun and the contagion, obviously going down to that Nullstone. And while this is happening, Warbeast's ultimate is back up again. He's chasing after that engineer, ends up taking that engineer out. Torturer going down a little bit, but not heaps by any means, to that silver bullet from Witchslayer. But that was all they needed. They pushed ahead, they got the racks. Now that's 2 racks down. They will be able to back easily, potentially farm up this bottom lane, push that back as well. And that's it. GG well played are being called. And potentially going to see a concede. I'm not sure.
Nemesis. Defeat.
There we go.
Hellborn wins.
Finishing up there. Zenith. Got the kill, unfortunately. 5s. Not able to turn it around. Was seesawing back and forth there for a little bit. But War Beast just getting that farm, getting those puzzle block minions and that basher with the shrunken head. Just great play coming out from both teams, but a little bit more in favour.